got the little one. She said she up on that. Yeah. Got in there. Let me see. Hey, that's that big Tasha. Look, bitch. Look behind you. Look. Big Tasha. Big Tasha. Big Tasha. Yeah.
5, 4, 3. Okay, she know it.
Man, my man got a bad bitch in real life. In real motherfucking life. And I ain't never going nowhere. We locked in. You can't compare where you can't compete, stink. Yeah, you know, him, that's me. Y'all, I am divorced. I am motherfucking divorced. Y'all don't even know how good this shit feel. Like, I feel free. I'm divorced, bitch. I told y'all, yeah. Big divorce on paper. And I'm happy about it.
It was supposed to be a normal 4th of July celebration. Music was playing, fireworks were lighting up the sky, and families gathered on the streets of Fort Worth, Texas. Among them was Latasha Hyman, better known as Tasha, a popular local businesswoman with a growing online following. Like many others that night, she went live on Facebook to share the celebration with her friends and followers. The live stream started like any other. Tasha held her phone, smiling, showing her friends the food, the fireworks, and the party atmosphere. Everything looked normal. Nothing about that video gave any warning of what was coming next. Then it happened. Gunfire. Not one shot. Several. Loud, sharp, sudden. The camera on Tasha's phone shook as people started screaming in the background. The peaceful street party turned into panic in seconds. Viewers watching live didn't know what was happening. Some thought it was fireworks. Others knew right away it was something else. Something deadly. Right before the live stream cut off, the camera caught one final image. Tasha falling to the ground. The video ended. Silence followed. Tasha had just been killed live on Facebook in front of her family, friends, and hundreds of online followers. What began as a normal holiday broadcast turned into a shocking public murder. No one expected it. No one was prepared for it. But this wasn't just random violence. It raised bigger questions. Who shot Tasha? Why did it happen in the middle of a family celebration? And why did it happen to her? This is not just a story about a murder. This is a story about a woman's life being taken live on camera, and the search for answers that followed. If you're captivated by real crime stories that peel back the layers of truth, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Your support means the world to us as we uncover real cases, raise awareness, and give a voice to the voiceless. Before we dive into today's story, we want to hear from you. Where are you tuning in from? And how do you feel as the story unfolds? Welcome to Deadly Crime Unmasked, the show where we expose the shocking crimes that rip through communities and the chilling secrets lurking behind closed doors. These are real people, real events, real consequences. Don't forget to subscribe and activate notifications. You won't want to miss the gripping story that's coming up. Now, let's dive in. Latasha Hyman, known to many as Tasha, was not a stranger to Fort Worth, Texas. By the time she was 37, she had already built a name for herself in her city. Born and raised in Fort Worth, she was a familiar face to both neighbors and business owners in her local community. Tasha was best known for her work as a makeup artist and businesswoman. She was not just doing makeup as a hobby. It was her full-time profession. Over the years, she turned what many saw as a side job into a growing business. Tasha owned her own beauty brand, providing makeup services to people from all walks of life. Brides hired her to make them look their best on their special day. Mothers booked her for birthday celebrations. Event organizers called her for local shows and community events. Weddings, birthdays, parties, professional photo shoots. Tasha had done them all. What set Tasha apart was her ability to turn her business into a real brand. She did not wait for clients to come to her. She actively promoted her work using social media. At a time when many beauty artists relied only on word of mouth, Tasha understood how powerful online platforms could be for her business. She consistently used Facebook and Instagram to showcase her work, highlight her skills, and attract new clients. Her strategy worked. Over time, she gathered thousands of followers on her Facebook page and Instagram account. Followers watched her makeup tutorials, browsed before and after photos of her clients, and tuned in for live streams where she gave beauty tips or simply shared moments from her daily life. These platforms helped Tasha expand her reach far beyond her neighborhood. Tasha's online presence was not only about promoting her services. She also used her platform to teach and help others. She trained younger women who wanted to learn makeup skills or get started in the beauty industry. Some of the women she taught eventually started their own businesses. Inspired by her example, Tasha regularly answered questions from followers who were curious about makeup, product recommendations, or how to start a beauty career of their own. Even with her growing online audience, Tasha stayed deeply connected to her local community. She was known for showing up not just online, but in person at community events. Block parties, school events, charity drives, and holiday celebrations often had her involvement. She didn't just provide makeup services. She often helped with planning, decorations, and spreading the word. Her ability to mix business with community work built her a strong, steady reputation. At home, Tasha's life was stable. She was engaged to her fiancé, and those who knew them often saw them together at both personal and business events. Many people in Fort Worth recognized her face from both online videos and neighborhood gatherings. To the outside world, she was described in simple terms: hardworking, business-focused, and active in community life. When it came to business reputation, Tasha was well respected. Her clients came back not just because of her makeup skills, but also because she was dependable. If she said she would be at an event, she was there. If a bride needed her early in the morning before the wedding, she showed up on time. People trusted her with their important life moments, and she delivered. As a result, she built a strong base of loyal customers. Her business success was not based on luck. It came from years of showing up, promoting her work, and delivering results. By the time she turned 37, she was seen by many as more than just a makeup artist. She was a full entrepreneur with a growing personal brand. The combination of her business skills, community involvement, and social media influence made her stand out in Fort Worth. She wasn't famous in the way national celebrities are famous, but in her community, she was a well-known personality. To her followers, she was a friendly face who gave beauty advice and encouragement. To her clients, she was a trusted professional who always came prepared. On July 4th, 2025, the streets of Fort Worth, Texas, were filled with the sounds of celebration. The location was Castleman and Comanche Streets, an area known for neighborhood events and gatherings. This particular evening was special. It was America's Independence Day, and like many other neighborhoods across the country, the people of Fort Worth came outside to enjoy the public holiday. By late evening, the streets were busy. Families gathered outside their homes. Neighbors were chatting. Children were playing games on the sidewalks. The smell of grilled food filled the air. Fireworks exploded in the sky, lighting up the streets in red, white, and blue flashes. Laughter, music, and excitement filled the scene. Among those celebrating was Latasha, Tasha, Hyman, a well-known local makeup artist and businesswoman. She was standing with friends, holding her phone, live streaming everything to her followers on Facebook. Tasha had been using Facebook Live for a long time. It was part of her brand. She used these live streams to show people her work, promote her beauty business, and share her daily life with her audience. That night, everything seemed normal at first. Her live stream was filled with happy faces and loud music. In the video, Tasha showed the fireworks in the sky. She turned the camera toward friends, neighbors, and children laughing and dancing. She even smiled at the camera herself, talking to her audience in her usual confident way. Everything in that live stream looked like a typical 4th of July block party in America. Tasha's followers online were responding with likes and comments. Many of them were wishing her a happy 4th of July. Some were asking about her next makeup events. The mood was calm and normal, just like any other live stream Tasha had done in the past. She often did this at events like this. It was her way of connecting with her followers and showing them how her community celebrated special days. The camera on her phone showed her smiling face, other people waving in the background, and kids running past with sparklers in their hands. But that normal scene didn't last long. Suddenly, the entire scene changed. Without any warning, loud gunshots suddenly rang out. It started with one loud pop. At first, some people thought it was just another firework. It was the 4th of July, after all, and the sounds of fireworks were constant, but then more shots followed quickly. This time, it was clear these were not fireworks. These were gunshots, and they were close. Panic hit the crowd almost immediately.
Started off great.
What is left of 24 hours ago
Everybody was coming out, cooking out in their front yard.
is a reminder of what is lost.
Everything just went downhill from there.
In the Eastland neighborhood of Fort Worth at Castleman and Comanche, Lizbeth was with her family celebrating the 4th of July.
Like before everything started, they were already here.
100 people took over the block.
I'm trying to show y'all all these people outside.
Just before midnight, the booming sound of fireworks was muted by gunfire.
What y'all doing, Facebook?
Half an hour before, Latasha Hyman was streaming live on Castleman Street.
In the video, people could be seen turning their heads quickly, looking around to figure out where the shots were coming from. Some people dropped to the ground to take cover. Others screamed and started running in all directions, trying to escape the danger. The fun and laughter were replaced by pure chaos. Tasha's phone kept recording. Viewers on Facebook were watching everything live. They saw people running past the camera, bumping into each other. The screen shook as Tasha moved, clearly trying to figure out what was happening. The gunshots kept coming, one after another, loud and sharp, echoing through the street. Then it happened. Tasha collapsed right there on camera. The camera tilted sharply, pointing at the ground. For a few seconds, viewers could see the blurry image of concrete, feet running by, and a red plastic cup rolling across the street. A few more screams could be heard. Then there was a strange silence, mixed with distant yelling and confusion. It became clear that something terrible had just happened. Tasha had been shot while live streaming. People watching from their homes could only sit in shock, staring at their screens, unsure what they had just witnessed. The live stream didn't stop right away. For a few more seconds, the phone kept recording the sounds of chaos, sirens in the distance. But soon the live stream ended. Whether someone picked up the phone and stopped it, or it simply fell and got damaged wasn't clear. Either way, the video feed was gone. As soon as the gunshots echoed through the neighborhood, chaos followed. People who had been celebrating just minutes before began to run in different directions. Some screamed for help. Others grabbed their children and ducked behind cars and buildings, trying to get away from the danger. In the middle of this confusion, multiple calls were made to 911 by witnesses who had seen the shooting happen live and those at the scene. News of what happened traveled quickly. People began sharing clips of the live stream. Social media users posted comments asking if Tasha was okay. Some viewers had been commenting on the video as the shots were fired, asking what's going on, or writing, "Is everyone all right?" Meanwhile, on the ground at the scene, police and emergency services were already rushing toward the area. Witnesses told officers that shots had come from multiple directions, but in the chaos, it was hard to say who fired the first bullet. Some people thought it was a targeted attack. Others believed it might have been a fight that got out of control. At that point, no one knew for sure. One thing was clear. Tasha was down and it didn't look good. What had started as a normal 4th of July live stream had now become part of a major crime scene. Police quickly taped off the area. Shell casings were found scattered on the street. Witnesses who stayed behind were questioned by officers. Some gave descriptions of people they thought might be involved. Others said they saw someone running with a gun. While emergency medical teams tried to help the victims, viewers online waited for any kind of update about Tasha's condition. But no one could give answers yet. The only thing anyone knew was that the video showed her falling after the gunshots, and now the video was offline. It was clear this was not just another shooting. This was something different. A beloved businesswoman had been attacked in public, and the whole thing had been recorded and shared live with hundreds of people watching in real time. What was supposed to be a celebration had turned into a tragedy, one that everyone, both in person and online, would remember. Law enforcement quickly began working on the case. The Fort Worth Police Department launched a full investigation into the shooting. Their goal was to find out who was responsible for Tasha's death and why it happened during a public celebration. According to reports from that night, several people were at the scene when the gunfire broke out. Many of them gave statements to the police. Witnesses described seeing more than one shooter. Some people said the shots came from a small group of individuals, not just a single person. The witnesses did not know if these shooters were targeting Tasha or if she was caught in random violence. What made the situation more confusing was that it was a crowded event. Fireworks were going off at the same time, making it harder for people to understand exactly where the shots were coming from. Multiple videos from that night, including Tasha's Facebook livestream, were collected by the police. Investigators used these videos to study the moments leading up to the shooting. They tried to find clues by slowing down the footage, checking the background noise, and identifying any suspicious movements. Police also searched social media platforms to see if anyone else had filmed the event or posted anything unusual before or after the shooting. As of now, the police have not confirmed any arrests connected to the killing of Latasha Hyman. The investigation remains open, and detectives are still gathering information. Law enforcement has not said publicly if they have identified any suspects. They have also not shared whether Tasha was the intended target or she was killed by mistake during a fight involving other people. The lack of immediate answers has made this case even harder to solve. What investigators have confirmed is that the July 4th shooting was part of a larger outbreak of violence in Fort Worth that night. Tasha's death was just one of several fatal shootings reported in the city during the holiday. This means that police have been handling multiple crime scenes at the same time, adding to the challenges of solving each case quickly. Local police departments have used standard investigation procedures in this case. They interviewed people who were at the party, searched for forensic evidence such as shell casings and fingerprints, and checked nearby security cameras for any useful footage. Detectives also contacted hospitals and emergency rooms to find out if anyone showed up with gunshot wounds, which might link possible suspects to the scene of the crime. So far, investigators have not released a motive for the shooting. They do not know if the violence was gang-related, a personal conflict, or random gunfire during the crowded holiday event. The lack of a clear motive makes it harder to narrow down suspects, especially in neighborhoods where gun violence can sometimes go unreported or witnesses may fear speaking up. Because of this, authorities have asked for the public's help. Fort Worth police have made official statements asking anyone with information to come forward. They have provided anonymous tip lines for people who might be scared to reveal their identities. Flyers and public announcements were also shared online, encouraging community members to report anything they might have seen or heard on the night of the shooting. In situations like this, cooperation from the community often plays a major role in solving crimes. Police depend on witnesses to fill in missing details that cameras or forensic evidence cannot provide. Whether someone saw the shooters, recognized their voices, or noticed strange behavior before the gunfire, any detail can help move the case forward. At this point, no one has stepped forward with strong enough evidence to solve the murder. As the weeks pass, law enforcement continues to review all leads, hoping that more people will speak up. Detectives remain focused on identifying those responsible for the shooting that ended Latasha Hyman's life. To close the investigation successfully, the police will need either a direct witness, a suspect confession, or physical evidence that ties someone to the crime. Until then, the investigation stays active. After news of Tasha Hyman's death spread, the first major reaction came from her fiancé. Just hours after the shooting, he made a public statement through his personal Facebook page. His message was brief but direct. He confirmed that Tasha had been killed at the 4th of July celebration in Fort Worth. He described watching the live stream himself and realizing in real time that something terrible was happening. In his post, he said that they had been planning their wedding for the following year. According to him, they had been engaged for about 2 years, and Tasha had been excited about building both their life together and her business. The fiancé also mentioned that the couple had just moved into a new apartment shortly before the incident. He explained he had spoken to her less than an hour before the live stream started. The post ended with a call for justice, asking anyone who had information about the shooting to contact the police immediately. In the comments under the post, dozens of friends and family members responded, some confirming that they had also watched the live stream as it happened. Others expressed disbelief that a woman they knew personally could lose her life so suddenly while doing something as harmless as celebrating the 4th of July. The fiancé made several follow-up posts over the next few days, updating the public on how he and Tasha's family were handling funeral arrangements and providing information about how to donate to help cover costs. As word of Tasha's death spread, tributes began pouring in across various social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok were flooded with posts from people who knew her personally and professionally. Many of the posts described her as a hard-working businesswoman who took pride in helping others look their best. Others highlighted her frequent support for other small businesses in Fort Worth, especially women-owned businesses. Several local influencers who had worked with Tasha in the past made video tributes, sharing clips of her doing makeup for clients or talking about her work. They emphasized how dedicated she was to her craft and how she was always willing to give advice to up-and-coming makeup artists. Tasha's death also caught the attention of major local news outlets. Fort Worth news stations began covering the story extensively, especially after footage of the live stream began circulating on the internet. News anchors provided clear details about where the shooting happened, the timeline of events, and Tasha's role in the local community. One local TV station ran a segment focused entirely on her background, describing how she had built her business from scratch and used her social media following to grow it into a successful brand. Another station interviewed several of Tasha's former clients who spoke on camera about their experiences with her. These interviews focused on her professionalism and how many of them had recommended her services to others in the community. Major online news outlets also picked up the story, especially because of the unusual and shocking nature of the killing being live-streamed on Facebook. Articles described a sequence of events, starting with Tasha greeting her followers during the block party, followed by the sudden gunshots, and ending with the chaotic final moments of the live stream. While most news outlets focus on the facts of the shooting, some included brief background details about the rising levels of gun violence in Fort Worth during that period. Several reports pointed out that Tasha's death was not the only fatal shooting that occurred on the 4th of July in the area. In fact, police confirmed that 5 people were killed in total that night in separate incidents across the city. The heavy media coverage kept Tasha's name trending locally for several days. In response to the attention, members of Tasha's family released a formal statement through their lawyer asking for privacy as they made funeral arrangements. The statement also included another appeal for anyone with information about the shooter to come forward. To support the family, several of Tasha's friends organized community fundraisers both online and in person. Local businesses offered to donate portions of their sales to help cover funeral expenses. A GoFundMe account linked to Tasha's family was shared widely across social media, receiving contributions from both people who knew her personally and complete strangers who had seen the news reports or watched part of the live stream. By the end of the week, Tasha's death had become one of the most discussed topics in Fort Worth. Her fiancé, family members, and friends continued to post updates as funeral plans were finalized and as the police investigation moved forward. Business pages run by other makeup artists and hairstylists across Texas also posted in support of Tasha's family. Some of these posts described her as a hard-working woman in the beauty industry who gave advice to other up-and-coming entrepreneurs. Others simply reshared her old videos with captions, encouraging people to remember her contribution to the local beauty scene. Local community activists also began speaking out on their social media platforms. These individuals focus on the issue of rising gun violence in Fort Worth. One video posted on Instagram by a known local activist highlighted the dangers of community gatherings being interrupted by violence. The activist stated that what happened to Tasha was part of a larger problem of gun violence spreading across neighborhoods in Texas. Local community meetings in Fort Worth started to focus heavily on safety concerns. People who attended those meetings raised questions about police presence at large neighborhood events, especially during holiday periods like the 4th of July. Residents expressed frustration that such violence could take place at a family event in broad daylight, in a busy part of the city. They asked why there weren't enough police patrols, given that the 4th of July is known for large gatherings. Fort Worth City Council members received letters and emails from residents demanding stronger safety plans for future community events. Some of these letters asked for organized neighborhood watch groups. Others demanded metal detectors or security checks for public events sponsored by the city. In response, some local leaders issued public statements promising to review current safety procedures. These leaders spoke at press conferences, explaining that they were working with law enforcement to address violence in the area. They confirmed that increased patrols will be deployed during future major events and that they were developing strategies to respond faster to incidents like the one that led to Tasha's death. Meanwhile, Fort Worth police encouraged anyone with information about the shooting to contact them. They set up a special hotline to gather anonymous tips from the public. Flyers were printed and distributed across neighborhoods around Castleman and Comanche streets where the shooting happened. The public response made it clear that many people in the community wanted action, not just for Tasha, but to prevent more deaths like hers. The death of Latasha, Tasha, Hyman was seen as a loss not only to her family, but also to Fort Worth's local business community. Tasha had built a solid reputation as a skilled makeup artist, gaining clients through word of mouth and through her strong online presence. Her Facebook and Instagram pages regularly featured photos and videos of her recent work, showing brides, models, and everyday people transformed by her makeup skills. Tasha also had a reputation for helping other young women start careers in the beauty industry. Before her death, she had been planning to expand her business by opening a larger beauty studio where she could train others. Several posts on her social media had hinted at these future plans, including potential collaborations with hairstylists and photographers in Fort Worth. Her death cut short those plans, but the work she did while she was alive continued to impact people after she was gone. Several of her clients and business associates spoke about plans to organize a small scholarship or mentorship program in her name to help young makeup artists in the area. Within the beauty community in Texas, Tasha's name started being mentioned alongside other popular figures in the industry. Her videos and posts remained online, serving as a reference for both beginner and experienced makeup artists. For many in her local community, Tasha's legacy was not only about makeup, it was also about entrepreneurship, community leadership, and the drive to build something meaningful. Even though her life was cut short by violence, her business and her example of success left a permanent mark on the Fort Worth beauty industry. Her case became a symbol for those advocating for safer neighborhoods and support for local business owners. Whether through social media, community events, or future business projects in her honor, Tasha Hyman's influence continued beyond her final live stream. If this story gripped your heart and left you questioning the truth, don't forget to hit that like button and share with others who need to hear it. For more chilling true crime stories that dive deep into the mysteries behind these tragedies, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. You won't want to miss our latest updates, investigations, and thought-provoking discussions. Thank you for being part of this journey with us as we uncover the truth and seek justice. Together, we can make a difference. Stay safe, stay aware, and we'll see you in the next one.